Many people are, I feel, are like going through different stages of their own transformation. Some are having like explosive energies and powerful attunements and higher connections, and some are having resistance to some of the stuff that is taking place. Either way, the cycle is shifting very fast, and a lot of realizations that are taking place, they're actually opening up your causal body. So if you've been having heaviness, let's say around your head, especially the upper part of the shoulder blades and the upper part of the spine, there is a powerful energy that's coming in from the causal body, but the ego is fighting back. Many people are, I feel, are like going through different stages of their own transformation. Some are having like explosive energies and powerful attunements and higher connections, and some are having resistance to some of the stuff that is taking place. But either way, the cycle is shifting very fast, and a lot of realizations that are taking place, they're actually opening up your causal body. So if you've been having heaviness, let's say around your head, especially the upper part of the shoulder blades and the upper part of the spine, the cervical spine. So let me raise your hand if you've been having some stagnant energy there. Okay. There is a powerful energy that's coming in from the causal body, but the ego is fighting back. The personality says, well, this is how I know to do things, and it continuously starts to reinforce itself. So this month is very powerful to surrendering to the aspect of the higher mind, the source, your goddess, God self, whatever you want to call it, the I am presence. The reason is because this pattern, which is very subtle, but the pattern I'm referring to, the ego, it's like it's been there for so long, and you're so used to operating this way. It's telling you, let it go. And the higher mind is not battling you, is just finding opportunities to bring those little subtle energies through. So if you are aware of that, especially they are coming, it's like coming into the shoulder blades area. These are the spaces we want to focus on a lot. And it has to do with liberating your upper heart. It has to do with liberating your inner child. So the inner child has a pure connection to the higher self. See, the inner child does not want to satisfy anyone. It doesn't even want to satisfy you. It wants to be with its higher self. So it's very important to know that your inner child does not want approval from anyone. It is not upset at anyone. It is you who hijacked it and said that it's upset at someone. It just wants a pure alignment, connection to your higher self. That is where the nurturing energy comes from. So the thymus gland, the upper heart, is being activated during this time period, and how much can the personality surrender? Last week I mentioned how sensitivity and awareness is going to expand very sharply for a lot of people. So I myself had a very sharp awakening, and instead of closing it, you actually have to honor it because it's a gift. It's a gift of your soul. So through the more you're able to sit with yourself and to feel into different parts and to allow that energy to guide you, the more clarity you will have, the more intuitive you will become. So this is not something that you can close if you choose to, but it is something that needs to be honored. It is the divine speaking through you. Through these feelings and sensations, you'll be able to step into the next stage of evolution of mankind, which we're becoming telepathic, we're becoming more sentient beings. So this whole process of our astral body being activated, that's why we're emotional beings. It is your emotional state, is your heart that is fully coming online and able to feel with love, not to feel with judgment or separation or segregation, but to feel things with love in unison. So it's basically uniting all aspects and allowing the mind to step aside. So, whatever you are feeling, there are different feeling sensations. So, you have to learn how to navigate through them. Is it the pain inside your body, or is it outside of your body? Is it in your energy bodies? Or maybe it is you are feeling somebody, or is it a past thought? Is it your thoughts that are creating it? So we have to dive into these parts and get clarity then, and one of the main things is to regulate it is your breath. So we have to first come aware of our breath, and once we have that fully aligned and balanced, and now you're aware of your breath, then you'll be able balancedly kind of with your intuitive aspects to see what's taking place, what part is creating this sensation, pain. Is it your mind? Is it your emotion? It is your belief? Is it somebody around you that you are feeling? So those little clarities will start to come through, and the more you do this, the more powerful your field will become, and the less you will feel, because then you will start becoming the effect. So therefore, now people will feel your frequency and vibration just by being in your presence. So this is where the inner work begins. So this is a beautiful beginning and a beautiful journey. It's nothing is easy, but it's all doable. Okay. So it's only as what you make it. And the thing is, what makes it easy is understanding your breath and dedicating the time for yourself, for your goddess self. There's a lot of stuff going around mitochondria and understanding our cells. But what is mitochondria? It is the molecular structure that holds everything together. It is an energy force. And I started to dive deeper into it. And when I was visiting Egypt, I went back and I said, wait a minute, let me take a look at these pictures. As I look at the pictures, they have pictures of mitochondria back then. I was like, how did they have that? How do they understand? Yeah, how do they understand that? How did they know this? Okay. But what moves it? What energizes it? What charges it? It is the sugar in the fruits that energizes it. That's when the Bible says, eat the fruit and the seed. The fruit without the seed does not fully activate. So if you're eating an orange, eat the seed. You're eating an apple, eat the seed. You're eating papaya, eat the seed. Because they activate one another, and now you're getting a full activation and a full mineral and vitamins that you need from the food. That's one part. So you got that charge now. But how do you move that energy through the body? Oxygen moves it. How simple is that? Eat the fruit and breathe, and you'll get everything moving. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you do it consistently, you'll see the difference. Honey, that's why they have bees everywhere. In the temples, they have bees. We went to Turkey, um, Greece, and all these temples, they have bees. Honey is the only thing that kills parasites, charges your mitochondria, and allows that energy to be moved. I did a lot of this stuff, channeling and connecting to aliens and being on spaceships and everything. All wonderful. All wonderful. But you have your own agenda. I have my own agenda. Everybody here has their own agenda. Yeah. But when we connect to the soul level, everybody's just beautiful. My question then arises is, why are we not at that level as humanity? So I shifted my whole focus as helping mankind to achieve that higher state of consciousness instead of waiting for some other outside source species to come and enlighten us. I've been traveling through many different spaces and sacred spaces, and none of them are human. We go to Egypt, we go to Germany, Turkey, we go to Greece. They're all giants, and all their stories do not really align with the story of the perfect human that was created like the perfect Adam species. And we as humans have so much potential, but we're always depending on some outside source to help us. They are so interested in us because we are filled with abundance of emotion. And the Greys, I'm sorry, they don't have any emotions. They're straight up mind. So, how can another species of mind tell us how to experience our life here? There are levels of existences. There are angelic realms. There are the higher levels of consciousnesses, of soul level, of higher self, and the purity of where mankind once came from. He has great information, but when he tells you to take a jab and during COVID, I was like, wait a minute. you know, that was a question for me. I learn from things that are elevating, yes, but I still stay in my own alignment. The whole purpose of us existing is for us to raise to the level of our soul, is to become this divine being that we meant to be. But if we have these beings come down right now, what do you think is going to happen? They're not going to come down. These are false prophecies that constantly keep us chasing for the future instead of being here. They're coming. Who's coming? We cannot get along with one another. When we get along with one another, then we'll open up to the gateways to the cosmos and meet them at the same level. But if they come down right now, which I know they're not going to do that, because we're going to turn against them now and create peace in the world, but they will become the enemy. Mankind's consciousness has not risen to the level to understand harmony on all dimensions. I can tell you so many stories where I was in ships and traveled and physically and spiritually and through the astral body. And I don't think they're going to come because they were supposed to come in 2012 by his stories. They're supposed to come in 2020, but 2018, and then now 2022, now 2027. And they're constantly feeding us with something that's coming, but it's never coming. And we're waiting instead of us going deeper within ourselves. Do you see what it does? It creates a mental dependency that something outside of you is constantly coming. You can learn his mental perceptions, yeah, but they have no heart. Plus, they're a completely different dimension. They're not even on this universe. Because we can connect to so many different beings. I can connect to beings from other dimensions and other universes that will not even communicate with the species in this universe because they don't even understand how disrupted our mind operates. They just don't even want to tap into it because the mind is so diluted with so many negative and positive and judgments. And when there are other beings, they're completely living in the space of love. So we can meet them when we're at that level. And remember, see, we have 5 fingers, and there are beings that have 3 fingers. They're not of the same level and the same interest. Okay. So we have to have clarity in that. A lot of, there's also benevolent ones in the other dimensions, but it's a whole new universe out there. It's like Star Wars, basically. It's important for us to stay in our hearts, in our clarity, with our own divine self. And when we're fully connected with that, when they come down, we will not look at them as gods, because that's what they did in Egypt. That's what they did in Greece and Rome, and so they can very easily misguide us. So we want to stay to our truth. You know, anybody see Christopher Columbus um, coming to America? What he wrote? He came to America and he saw the Native Americans. They were the purity of Elohimic consciousness. He comes and he says, "Oh my God, these people are so pure, so loving, so caring. They do not have any possessiveness. They give their gold away for free. They're willing to help us and assist us all the time. This civilization does not even understand to kill is to kill only if they are consuming it. They are so great, they will make great slaves." And you can see that. You can Google it and you'll see this whole paragraph of what he wrote. So when we connect to other beings, we're connecting to their higher self. We're not connecting to the physical aspect of them.